Good evening, how's it going? My name is Leo Padilla. I'm here to give you an instructional video on how to read a tape measure. A lot of problems out in the field out there nowadays where we're getting a lot of people that come out to the field that are unexperienced on how to read a tape and the tape measuring reading aspect out in the field. A lot of times they're journeymen or elder carpenter out there. Usually their apprentice comes out to the field, usually straight out of high school, maybe college didn't work out for them and they decided to choose this trade. Here we are to help them learn how to read a tape, or somebody who just wants to learn how to read a tape. And in our instances, we go off of the 16/16. So as you can see, I have an example up here on the whiteboard, and we're gonna go over and break down every step that we have in order to read this tape. We're going to do another way for our drywall carpenters, because the drywall carpenters, they go off of a different type of system in regards to how they read off their numbers to their cut man or whoever be scribing that drywall. So here we have 16 lines that represents 1 inch. Obviously there's 16/16 equals 1 whole inch. You could go 8/8 equals 1 whole inch. You could go 4/4 equals 1 whole inch, or you could go 2 halves and that gives you 1 whole inch. So here you can see we have 16 lines and we're going to break them all the way down. Obviously this is 1/16 and we got 16/16 way over here representing 1 inch. So if we were to assume what half of that was, that would be right here in the center, and that would give us 8/16, right? So we have that established. Now, half of 8/16 would give us 4/16, right? And if we were to add 4/16, that would give us almost 3/4 of an inch, which would give us 12/16. As you can tell, I haven't broken them down yet because it's a process that I go through in how to break down a measuring tape. Now, I'm going to color coordinate it. I'm going to try to help you guys out so you get to see a little bit better. I'm going to draw all the 16ths. We're just going to continue them all in black since I already started those ones with the black marker. So you're just going to come in and fill them in. 1/16, 2/16, 3/16. Oh, and I messed up right there. That's okay. That technically happens every now and then when I do something like this, but that's okay. That just goes to show that we all make mistakes. All right, so you see we have all the 16ths broken down, all the way from 1/16 all the way to 15/16. Again, we have 0 and we have 1 whole inch. Now we're going to go into the next one, which would be 8ths, right? And we go from 16ths to 8ths, and with that, half of 8/8, which is 8/8 is 1 whole inch, would be 4/8. Okay, and half of that would be 2/8. And if we were to add 2/8 to that 4/8, that would give us 6/8. Now, this is the one that I was talking about for the drywall carpenters out there. They would use a reference out in the field, and they go off of 8ths, and inches and 8ths for the readings when they go to read a number off to their apprentice or their other carpenter that's working right next to them. So we're going to come here, 2/16 gets broken down to 1/8. 6/16 becomes 3/8. Basically, this is all just breaking these all in half. 10/16 would go to 5/8. 14/16 would go to 7/8. So now that we have all the eighths broken down, again, going back to the drywall carpenters, they'll call this, hey, I need a piece of board cut at 67 3. When they talk about 67 3, they're talking about 67 inches and 3/8 of an inch is what they would want their cut at. It could be 47 5. They're talking about 47 inches and 5/8 of an inch. That's what they're talking about. Moving along, we still have work to do and we need to break down a little bit more. After eighths comes the quarters. So now we're going to break down the quarters. So now, half of 4 quarters is 2 quarters. Half of 2 quarters is 1 quarter. And if we were to have 3 quarters, as simple as that sounds, that's 3 quarters. And then it would be 4 quarters. But now that we're all situated with that, all that's left would be 1/2 inch. So as you can see, everything here is broken down from the 16ths to the eighths to the quarters to the half. You got 16 sixteenths, you got 8 eighths, you got 4 quarters, and you got 2 halves. There's your video on how to read a measuring tape. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them in the chat box or in the comments, and I'll try to get back to you guys when I can. Thank you.